Hello and welcome to the Friday market update. Okay, so what goes down must go up. Isn't it supposed to be what goes up must come down? And that's what's happening with the mortgage rates. They went down, but now they're going back up again, which is, and it feels like in the mortgage world that we just can't get a break. So rates have been creeping back up again, sitting at 6.3938% for a prime conventional borrower, according to Mortgage News Daily. The recent low, it was down to 6.13%. So we're up about a quarter of a percent since the Fed cut rate. But don't sweat it. We're definitely going to go down at some point in time. But how does this make sense? Let's break it down a little bit. So rates, and giving you some market context. The Fed cut the Fed funds rate back on September 17th, which was just about a week ago. But mortgage rates are market driven. Wall Street priced in that move early, then sold off once it happened, nudging the rates a little bit higher. And then we started to see some jobs data that impact the jobs market, that it was a little bit better than expected. Inflation came in pretty much at the same expectations, but we're not going down in inflation. So the markets kind of are saying, I think rates should be a little bit higher. So right now, buyers are feeling stuck. They're nervous, hesitant, waiting for the perfect time. Well, guess what? There is no perfect time. So this is my analogy. Every morning I get up, take a sauna, and I get out of the sauna. My son comes in. He's 5 years old, and we go swimming. He stands at the edge of the pool. He says, Dad, you go first. Tell me if it's cold. And he's smiling all the way. And so I ease in nice and slowly, and I get down to my belly. And I don't know about you, but when that water hits my belly, it's a little chilly. So it hits my stomach, and he laughs. And then he goes, Dad, is it cold? Is it cold? I said, oh, no, it's not cold at all. He finally jumps in, and he comes, splashes in, and he says, Dad, it's freezing in here. I said, but that's the thing. If you wait, it's always going to be a little bit worse than if you got in first. And that's what's going on. We believe that buyers should jump into the pool right now before and take that psychological out of the way. Just do it. Just get it done. And the one who jumps in first makes the biggest splash, and they get the good deal. The ones who wait only prolong the discomfort. So remember, it's actually not timing the market. It's about time in the market. So those buyers right now should absolutely jump in the pool and make it happen. So it was interesting. At Las Vegas Pitch this week, we had the most listings presented than we have ever had in the last 2.5 years. And there was a common theme. My seller is highly motivated. My seller is highly motivated. Listing after listing, the agents expressed that the seller was motivated, and they would likely look at all offers, meaning make the offer, you have to ask. Now remember, have their home listed for a reason, right? They want to sell their home. Otherwise, it wouldn't be listed. And they are sitting on a pile of equity. We call it free money, a pile of cash in their house. And they're willing to give some of that up to help the buyer buy their house and get a lower mortgage payment, because it makes a lot of sense. They can pay closing costs, they can pay for 2-1 buy downs, and they still make out on the equity. They still have a big profit after they sell because they bought it at the right time. So take the free money now for your buyer, negotiate closing costs, negotiate 2-1 buy downs, and make it happen. So what's a buyer psychology right now? Those buyers, they're on the fence. They're fence sitting, planning to wait until after the holidays. We're coming into a little bit of a slower season, but waiting comes with a cost. More inventory that will definitely come up in Q1. There's going to be more competition, fewer seller concessions. And right now, buyers can still negotiate. Negotiate is the key word. But once rates break into the fives, that magical number, that psychological barrier, that's going to bring the herd back in, and the leverage shifts away from the buyers. Right now, it is right with the buyers. So my take right now is the fourth quarter is going to be a window. I think it's a window for these buyers right now to get a really good deal, get seller concessions, get buy downs and the like. And I have a strong feeling that 2026 could be a breakout year when the pent-up demand comes storming back. When you think about it, you've got 38-year-old millennials that are first-time home buyers. That's the average first-time home buyer age. They want to get a house. They're getting gray hair. They want back in. And we've had 4 million sales per year for like the last 3-4 years. and it should be averaging about 5 million. I think it's going to happen. So I want to tell you a little story about Lisa. So Lisa is an agent, and Lisa's not a real name, but anyways, I talked to her about speed and certainty wins. And she's been in the business 5 years. She's a really good agent. Her business is really starting to take off. She's a single mom. Renting with her lease was ending very soon. She's got 2 boys, single mom with 2 boys, and she wanted to be close to her family. So a perfect home came up just down the street from her parents and exactly where she wanted to be for her 2 boys, that they could walk to the grandparents' house. So we got her pre-approved, added her parents as co-signers to push her over the top for the home that she wanted. She could afford it, but she didn't quite have the 2-year history to show the income. So we added a co-signer. When she submitted the offer, she did what most realtors are taught: 10-day due diligence, 17-day appraisal, 21-day loan approval. That is old school. That's not the winning formula. Here's a problem. That doesn't win in today's market. So I told Lisa, I said, hey, Lisa, if you counter this, I would definitely consider tightening to either what I call a 5-5-10 or a 7-7-14. She said, what does that mean? I said a 5-5-10 is 5 days due diligence, 5-day loan approval, 10-day close. 7-7-14, 7-day due diligence, 7-day loan approval, 14-day closing. She goes, I didn't know you could do that. So before the seller even countered, she took her offer back, resubmitted it with a 7-7-14. Within a half day, boom, the seller accepted it. Why? Because the seller had certainty. They knew within 14 days they would be getting their money. They knew that within 7 days they would have full loan approval and they could start packing and moving and getting out of the house. Sellers want to know that the deal will close. A lot of times you hear this all the time. Oh, we went into contract. Well, yeah, but will it close? If you give them certainty and shorten that time period for the due diligence, the loan approval, and the closing, you can win these deals. So Lisa closed in 12 days and she's moving in this weekend. So I was so happy for her. Moral of the story: speed wins, certainty for the seller wins, buyers, sellers, and agents all win. They get it done. So the 7 elements of a winning offer about Lisa's story highlights just one piece of the puzzle. But here's the full playbook. So element number 1, price to win. The right price gets the attention of buyers. So price it right in the beginning on your listings. Do 5-5-10. That second element, 5-day due diligence. That's it. Inspection period. Show the seller you're serious. Get it done in 5 days. Element number 3 is a 5-day loan approval. On conventional and FHA loans, we can do it. We can get it done. And we do all the pre-approval up front. It shouldn't take us 17 or 21 days, whatever most realtors put in there, to get formal approval on that particular loan. So do a 5-day loan approval. Waive the appraisal contingency. You're looking at me like, what, Bill? What are you talking about? Call me. I'll fill you in. It's a great strategy if you're competing to win the offer. Element number 5, 10-day closing period. We talked. That's part of the 5-5-10. Sellers want to move on quickly. If you have to do a lease back for them, at least they get their money and you go back. 6, element number 6, text me the listing agent's number upon the offer submission, and I'll call them directly and reinforce the strength of the offer and the buyer and that they will close. Element number 7 is copy me on the offer email. I'll personally respond to the email on how strong the buyer is, what the benefits are of this buyer, and I'll give them 7 extra tips as to why they should actually accept this offer. So it isn't theory. It's a proven system designed to win, and it works. So why does it matter? So rates are higher than the headlines, and buyers, they don't know what to believe, and they're confused, and that fuels their hesitation. So I hear it all the time. Bill, I saw rates come down a bunch. And so I've given them a quote. How come it's higher than what I see? So there's so many factors that go into rates. Credit scores are a huge thing. Mortgage insurance is another thing. So you have to get them off the fence and get them educated. Inventory is definitely going to climb after the holidays, but I think competition will as well. Seller concessions, they're still out there. It's free money, but it's not going to last forever. Closing and call to action. So here's the takeaway. This market rewards speed and certainty. Lisa won her dream home because she used a strategy most agents overlook. So if you want your buyers to stand out, lean in on the 7 elements of a winning offer. I'm happy to provide them to you. And if you want certainty on the lending side, absolutely call me. I'll walk you and your clients through it step by step. As always, as I always say, being from Colorado, be the buffalo, run into the storm, get that house that you want, negotiate closing costs, negotiate 2-1 buy downs, lower interest rates, face the storm head on and bust through it. Don't be the herd. When everybody jumps in, everything's going to change and everybody's going to get the same, and they will absolutely pay higher. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week. This is Gaylord out.